and zoning interviews, and we have Chris Pollard. So for those of you that are tuning in, you will only be able to hear the audio. There will be no visual recording, and the reason for that is that I always felt that it was very important
residents than the business owners.
What do you think is needed then to ensure this board is successful?
I think you guys are already doing it as far as transparency. You know, making yourselves available for questions, for making yourself available to the residents. I'm not sure if the Planning and Zoning Committee, if they have other events similar to where people can come and ask questions or do research if they're looking to, you know, build within the city or remodel within the city. So it's just making yourselves available.
And that's the purpose of the meeting tomorrow night. So I will let everyone know what's going on with the city. But actually, every one of our city managers, direct reports, all of his managers are going to just give a 5-minute speech. Not a speech even, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I can help you. I think it's very important for our residents to put a name to the face and also what they do. If you're having a problem, this is who you go to. So thank you very much for bringing that up. It just reinforces that we need to do something like that. Okay, and what do you think that boards need from the staff to ensure that they're successful?
I call it back office support. So the day-to-day clerical duties needed. So if I do need something, I know that there's a code manual, you know, so if this is a position that I do end up obtaining, you know, that's one thing I would be asking for right away, is any information I can have so I can start becoming more familiar with the codes and compliance. So just asking those questions of the staff members, because they've been around longer than any of us, and asking for direction as far as where to go or who to talk to.
Okay, and have you ever had the privilege of meeting our Community Service Director, Stuart Cruz?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I've worked with Stuart on several different occasions.
Okay, so you probably know most of the people in his department, Steve Edmonds.
Yes.
Gwen, you already
Yes.
said it, Gwen.
They've
Okay.
all been down to the building multiple times.
Great, okay. I don't think I've seen you in front of the special magistrate, so
No.
evidently you guys worked
Do it.
everything out
Yes.
okay. Good, so, okay. All right, so right now, Chris, I don't have any other questions for you. I thank you very much for
Thank you.
applying for the position. Let's go around and see if anyone has anything else, and then after we ask those, I'd like you to tell us a little bit, anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like us to know.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Sure.
So I, along with the other commission members, had the pleasure of meeting Chris and his family a month and a half ago or so at the ribbon cutting. And I have been truly impressed with the building on South Atlantic. It is absolutely beautiful. And commissioners and Mayor Miller know we've been talking for several months about ideas, what we can do to beautify the northern part of the city. And your building is a perfect example of what I would like to see. And it's just beautifully landscaped. It's just a gorgeous building inside and out. So thank you for that. So I did want to mention that we have spoken before. We did at the ribbon cutting. So I wanted to put that out there. But if there is a call for a vote to approve your admission as an alternate, I would vote yes, and I would agree and vote for a waiver. Even though you're not a resident, I understand you've owned a business in the Shores for 15 years, and 10 years, and you obviously have a vested interest in the Shores. So thank you for everything you've done so far for the Shores.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, right now, we could not take any votes at a
Okay.
workshop.
Gotcha.
Okay, any other questions, or?
Well, this is both a disclosure and an endorsement. I've known Chris for many, many years. Chris managed our property. I was the president of the HOA, and we were both impressed and really pleased with Chris and his organization's handling of our property. I did want to disclose that I had a discussion with Chris at his ribbon cutting. Chris really loves the city, and he actually wants to be on this commission, but he can't because he doesn't live in the city. I suggested he move to the city. I also suggested that he consider getting on one of the boards like this. So it's a full disclosure. I want you to know that we've had discussions about this, but It's also an endorsement because I know Chris from many years, and I've been nothing but satisfied and impressed with everything I know about him.
Thank you.
Okay, Richard?
I have a quick question for the staff. Do we know what the current makeup is as far as residents and business owners of the P&Z?
I can answer that.
Okay.
All of our permanent members of the commission are residents of Daytona Beach Shores. The last alternate that we added was Mr. Guy Patel, and he was not a resident, he was also a business owner.
Okay. And then at least one of them is both a resident and a business owner, right?
I'm trying to think if there's only one. I know Roseanne.
Yeah.
I believe that would be the only one that would be both. Her business is not in the Shores, but yet she is a Shores resident.
Right. Okay.
Am I, Sherry, did I?
You're
Okay.
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. Yeah, I just was interested. I thought it was mostly tilted toward residents, which, we don't want to get too much tilted toward business. This wouldn't do that. I don't really have anything to add. I think you seem well qualified.
Thank you.
So anything else you would like to tell us?
My only question was, not being a resident, I know you said there was a procedure as far as a variance. How does that work?
So what we'll have to do, Chris, is we run around with the numbers a couple of times. Our Vice Mayor, Michael Politis, is not able to be here, and it states a 4/5. So really, if we had something tonight, but in order to make sure that we're fully transparent, what we're going to do is, if I have the consensus of everyone here, and I'm just asking for consensus, that we put this on, and we can't add anything to agenda, if we put this on our June 27th agenda. All 5 of us will be there at that time, so we can make the decision at that time to add you to the board. So we would definitely have 4/5 at that time. Okay, if everybody here says that,
Yes.
that's
Yep.
okay. All right.
That was my
And
only-
what other questions do you have for us about, I won't ask you which board member you talked to, but have you, you've had exposure to, you've seen most of the board members
Yes.
and interacted with them?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, and business dealings with a couple of them on the board.
Okay,
And, we have been in the area, even though our business is only 10 years old, we've been in the area for almost 30 years. Here in Daytona Beach Shores through Mom and Dad. They started here in Daytona Beach Shores down in Ponce Inlet years back. And we just keep moving our way north, but we're still
Don't go too
staying in the
far.
shores.
okay, well, great, yeah, okay. Any other questions or anything else you'd like to mention to us?
No, I'm good. I
Okay,
appreciate
great,
your
all right.
time.
Well, we appreciate you, wanting to take part of the city and move it forward, so thank you very much. And again, on the June 27th, if you'd like to come to that meeting when we have all of our commissioners here, then
Same
we'll be
time?
able to do that. I say, no, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So we will do it part of, we will ask our city clerk to add it to the agenda for June 27th, and then it'll be one of our items under, well, Sherry will be under new business?
Because that needs a separate vote other than the consent agenda, so yes, that would be new business.
Okay, yes, okay, so it would be under new business on June 27th, 6 PM.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much today for coming in, we appreciate it.
Okay, Chris, always good seeing you.
Thank you, Chris, appreciate it.
Thank you,
Nice to
Chris.
meet you.
Are we done now? Well, officially?
Oh, I'm sorry, so this interview officially is ending at 5:35 PM.